Welcome to episode number 68 of Three Things with JR. It's a brand new day. That's the theme song for this show. That's my band, the band Big. We had our first outdoor gig in front of a crowd. And if you could see me right now, you would see the air quotes around crowd because there wasn't exactly a ton of people there. We did play, though. It was at a benefit concert called Recoverfest at Hull's Drive-In Movie Theater in Lexington, Virginia. And it was a lot of fun. We got there way early. It was super freaking hot. And we got there at 3 o'clock for load-in and realized that this was maybe not going to be the biggest festival we'd ever seen before. The stage we thought was going to be a stage was actually just a canopy above some grass with a piece of carpet on it, which means the place I'm setting up my drums is not flat, solid ground or stage. It is uneven grass with a few pieces of carpet over it, and that's not exactly ideal. However, it all worked out. It turned out to be an amazing time. The people that were there were super fun. The sound, maybe not the greatest PA system or sound man in the world. However, the band Big kicked ass. All the rehearsals we've been doing, the new songs sounded good. The old songs sounded good. The bass player didn't screw up. The drummer didn't screw up. The lead singer and guitar player didn't screw up. I mean, we may not have played perfectly, but we didn't have any. We often have these moments when we are playing live in front of other people where I do a drum fill that maybe was not the right amount of time, and it throws off my timing, and I have to get back to the right timing, and somehow Gary and Brian both continue playing, and we pick up where we left off, or Gary will sing some wrong lyrics, and it'll throw me off, or Brian will play a wrong lick, and Gary will look at him. We have these moments where we know that someone in the band just screwed up, but we powered through, and we have a quick smile at each other. We don't think the audience really knows when that happens because we're pretty good at just playing through it. But that didn't happen at all once, this gig. We had a really good time playing, and we're really excited to play these songs again for people in situations where they want to hear music, and hopefully for a nice big crowd. We have our next gig is at a Battle of the Bands in Charlottesville at Stonefield that we're pretty excited about. We don't know any more detail than that other than it is September 25th at Stonefield, and there are tickets and stuff. I'll probably post a link to that here in the show notes for this episode of the podcast. So music is coming back. Also, comedy is coming back. I've mentioned this a few times in the past week, but it really is. There are now 2 open mics every week in Charlottesville at indoor venues on a stage with a microphone. People are showing up, and it is so much fun. The Southern on the downtown mall is where I got my start doing comedy, and that open mic is back and hotter than ever. I'm recording this on Sunday night, so I'm already thinking about the jokes I'll be telling tomorrow night at the Southern. By the time this episode comes out, this will already have happened, but I'll be preparing for the Wednesday night open mic at the North American Sake Brewery, and that's pretty awesome. I got to do 10 minutes at the North American Sake Brewery last week, which helped me prepare for a paid spot. I got to do 15 minutes as the headliner at a show just outside of D.C. in Hyattsville, Maryland, called Hannah's Basement. It was technically into some dude's backyard, but there were tickets for sale, and people bought them, and they showed up, and I went up last after about 6 or 7 other comedians killed, and it was a fantastic show. I think I did pretty good. I got a bunch of laughs, and I was really happy, and they told me that was awesome. So it was extremely rewarding and a super fun time, and I hope to be doing some more of that stuff in the very near future. I am also, this Friday, August 6th, I will be opening for Chris Allen. Chris Allen is a local comedian, a friend of mine. He is doing an album release show where he's, I think, doing a bunch of new material, and he's asked a couple of us to do some time before he comes up. And yeah, I'm going to get to do that. I think I'm going to get paid for that. I don't know, but either way, I'm getting on stage and slinging jokes. So that's the plan, and I'm super excited for that. I hope you guys can make it out to see that. Go to the Southern's website for tickets and such, or just show up. There'll probably be tickets available when you get there. Show up, get a drink, get some food, hang out, and have a good time with us. Tonight on the show, this week on the show, I've got a special guest. I looked at my Facebook feed and I looked at my Facebook feed and I thought, yeah, I'm going to call Meghan Hensley. Meghan Hensley is the wife of Chester Hensley. Chester is my stepson, which means they are the parents of my grandchildren, Malia and Aria, and they're in Okinawa, Japan. So I had no idea what time it was. I texted Meghan on Facebook and said, hey, what are you doing right now? Can I call you? And instead of saying yes, she just called me. So I quickly hit record, and we had a nice conversation. She's actually on the road driving to the beach as we spoke, and she had her phone mounted, hands on the wheel, talking hands-free. So it was, I felt safe letting her drive and talk to me at the same time with the kids in the back. And so we talked about kids and Chester and military life and what Okinawa is like right now and vaccinations and when are we going to get to see them again? When can I go visit them? And we talked about the gifts I got them for Christmas from KiwiCo. They're not a sponsor of the show, but I've heard about them and seen them on various commercials and YouTube videos. It's a super cool gift. I got the girls. They get something every month in the mail, and it's kind of like a project, a thing they get to work on and learn from and make or build something. And Megan's got a bunch of pics and videos, so hopefully she's going to be sending me those soon because I can't wait to see what Malia and Aria are doing with the KiwiCo boxes they've been getting. So that's coming up here in just a few minutes. First, I got 3 things I need to tell you about.
Thing number 1.
The main thing is that the main thing remains the main thing. I first heard this phrase in the context of being at a men's retreat back when I was going to church. My dad was going to church. He still does. I don't. But I used to love going to this men's retreat. It was a fun time, bunch of good guys, and we would talk about life and mostly in, of course, the context of the Bible and such. But there was always fantastic music, and they always had a really great speaker who would lead the whole weekend, and I was really into it. And I may not be into the whole religion side of that anymore, but this phrase, the main thing is that the main thing remains the main thing, that can be applied to any aspect of your life, right? It was about Jesus, but it doesn't have to be. It's still like a solid way of thinking. Whether your main thing, whatever it is, make sure it remains that, right? And for me, it may seem like I don't even have a main thing. I mean, I think about all of the things I love to do, and not one of them totally dominates my life as the main thing I do, right? What is my main thing? Is it comedy? No. Is it this podcast? No. Is it disc golf? Maybe, but no. Is it softball? Definitely not. Is it my job? Pretty close. That's probably one of the things I spend the most time doing, but it's not my main thing. Is it my relationship? No. Is it my motorcycle? No. Is it my kids, my grandkids? No, not anymore. None of that stuff is the only thing or my main thing in life. Is it the music that I play in the band? No, none of those are my main thing. I got a lot of things, but none of them are my main. I would say I might not have like a specific thing that you would call my main thing. So what is my main thing? My main thing is to seize the day. What's going on right now? What am I doing? What does today hold for me? That's my main thing. Making the most of every moment. that's my main thing. And so whether I am playing music or doing comedy or hanging out with grandkids or playing disc golf or working at my job or hanging with Kiki and working on our relationship, whatever it is, that's my main thing at that moment. So my main thing is constantly changing because my main thing is to seize the day, maybe even to seize the moment. And so whatever's going on right now, that's my main thing. And the main thing is that the main thing remains the main thing.
Thing number 2.
Yacht rock. Yeah, today Kiki and I went on a lunch cruise. We were in D.C. for the weekend, saw the Nats and the Cubs play. And Kiki and I listened to yacht rock on the way to D.C. and on the way back from D.C. We saw the game, the baseball game Saturday night. We went on a 2-hour lunch cruise in the river and harbor around D.C. on Sunday, today. And it was pretty awesome. We were also listening to yacht rock on the Bluetooth speaker, which doubled as the mirror in the bathroom at the hotel we stayed at Saturday night. There's just been a lot of yacht rock in my life in the last 48 hours. And I guess I'm just kind of in a chill mood right now. Thank you, yacht rock.
Thing number 3.
So I'm going to play for you a bit that I did on Friday night in D.C. at that paid comedy show. I've got a little audio clip for you. I'm going to play it here in a minute, but let me set it up for you. If you've been listening to this show for a while, you'll remember a few episodes back. It's about episode number 55, where I interviewed Chris Mullins. He's a coworker of mine. He and I do the same job, and we have many parallels in our life. We're both about the same age. We've been at Crutchfield around the same amount of time. We have many of the same interests. We have many of the same situations in our life. We got married fairly young. We have a stepchild and a biological child, and there's just music and so many things we have in common. One thing we don't have in common is the way we talk. He is from Wise County, Virginia, and he talks as if he is from Wise County, Virginia, which means he's got a strong Southwest Virginia accent. So there's a lot of twang going on there, and you can hear it in his voice. And in that episode episode number 55, we talk about his way of talking and how many people just tend to think that people that talk like that are dumb just because it's an accent that a lot of people just associate with dumb guy voice. And I even joked about when I'm trying to do dumb guy voice, right? If I'm telling a joke or a story and I'm trying to portray a dumb guy, I end up sounding like I'm imitating my friend Chris Mullins. And he pointed out that not everybody that talks like that is actually dumb. I asked him what his dumb guy voice was, and he said, well, it's pretty much my voice. He gets it. Like, he understands this about himself, and it was just a fun little conversation. Well, I turned that into a joke, and I thought the right place to debut that joke was at this show, this comedy show in D.C., where, in Charlottesville, if I do that joke, there's going to be, for sure, somebody in the audience that talks like that, because Charlottesville is surrounded by people that talk like that, and many of them are very dumb. So I'd be very kind of worried if they were even going to get the joke. But I figured I'd do it in D.C. because chances of anybody actually showing up in Hyattsville, Maryland, talking like a dumb guy were pretty slim, and that they would find my little country accent pretty funny. And so here's a little clip. Here's the joke. And we'll play that. I'll be right back, just so you can hear how it went over. All right. Dumb Guy Voice by JR. Here you go.
I've got a friend at work who has a strong country accent. And we are always talking about it. And he's like, I don't know why people think we're dumb. Just because of the way we talk. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I mean, when I do my dumb guy voice when I'm doing jokes and stuff, it turns out to sound exactly like you. I mean, I didn't plan it that way. It's just when I'm trying to sound dumb, that's what I sound like. I asked him, I said, hey, man, what's your dumb guy? Like, if you talk that way naturally, what's your dumb guy voice? He's like, yeah, pretty much this voice. This pretty much all right, that's what I thought. But I'm going to tell you, not everybody that talks like that is a moron. And I know that because he told me that, hey, I done got vaccinated, so. Right on.
So as you can see, the people in DC actually found it pretty funny. All I had to do was say just about anything in my dumb guy voice, and it kind of cracked them up. And so thank you to Chris Mullins for helping me write that bit, even though he had no idea that's what was happening at the time. Frankly, neither did I. It just occurred to me literally the day of, so this would have been Friday, 2 days ago, while driving to DC. I thought, yeah, that's actually a pretty funny thing, and it might go over pretty well here. I'm hoping to tell this joke again and give it some legs and expand it out a little bit and make it even better. So there you go. Enjoyed some comedy for you. I told you comedy's back. Cool. We're gonna do a quick break, play a quick ad talking about Anchor, and we'll be right back after that with my stepdaughter-in-law, Meghan Hensley.
Wake up, wake up, wake up. There's no time for play. Get up, get up, get up. It's a brand new day.
Hey.
What's up, Meghan?
What up, man? Hey, I've been meaning to send you these pictures of the Kiwi Co boxes, and the girls love it.
Awesome. I was so hoping you guys had gotten those.
Oh, no, I am not doing that.
Yes, you are.
No, I am not.
It's going to be easy. Let me just ask you some questions. You can do it.
Okay.
I see your guys are driving. Where are you guys going?
Oh, we're just going to the beach for the day.
Heck yeah. What time is it in Okinawa right now?
It is 12:23 p.m.
12:23 p.m. It's 11:18 or 11:23 p.m. here, but it's Sunday. I guess there it's Monday.
Yeah, it's Monday afternoon.
Awesome. So you know why I'm calling? You know you're on my podcast right now?
Pretend. Oh, yeah.
It's not live or anything. I'm going to edit this later. You'll be fine.
Okay.
So how's things going? Just like tell me what's up. Like
It's going great. Beach life is awesome. We're in the tropics and the Pacific Ocean. It's super nice. It's always humid and hot, like Florida, but it's paradise here.
And if I remember correctly, you've told me before about going to the beach. There can be dangerous things in the ocean, right? Like jellyfish and stuff. Or do you go to a particular beach where you can be pretty safe and not worry about the kids? No, it's just dangerous.
We just try to stay educated as possible. If you see something that you're not supposed to be around, be smart about it. Swim away slowly and don't touch it. And we go over sometimes if they see something that they're not familiar with, they'll walk away or swim away, whatever the case may be, because it could be in a tide pool where you're walking and stuff.
Yeah.
There's lots of dangerous creatures here, but it's all about education that makes a big difference in enjoying nature and stuff. So,
how long have you guys been in Okinawa now?
It'll be 3 years in a couple weeks.
Right at 3 years. And you guys are you're on a 4-year thing, right? So you got about another year there. Is that still kind of the deal?
Yeah, I mean, things might turn up. We might stay here another tour. We don't know, which would be another 4 years after the 4-year mark next year.
Yeah.
So, if not, we're thinking of going to Germany next or Italy. If not, good old England. And if not, that will be residing hopefully back in the States at Seymour. So,
well, that's cool.
In North Carolina.
I personally wouldn't mind it if you stayed in Okinawa longer because I would love to come visit you there. However, wherever you end up going, Germany sounds awesome. Italy sounds awesome. If you are here stateside and you're only a couple hours away down in North Carolina, that would be awesome because I've so been wanting to visit you guys, and I don't know, is that even possible now? Could I get a plane and fly to Japan and come see you guys, or is that not something that's allowed right now? You're shaking your head no. Tell me more.
So we're still in the state of emergency. I believe it's been implemented either in April or May. Forgive my memory. There's so many things that goes on here. There's still mask mandates and all that stuff, vaccination craziness, and there's so many opinions about it. And then, but there's still state of emergency is implemented until the end of this month, which means no, leisurely travel. It's only SOFA status, locals, and I'm not sure what the other exception is because I'm not really, familiar with that information.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, it's weird. Japan's been pretty serious about locking down the whole country, and there's certain spots that we're not allowed to travel to, or they're red zones, even in mainland. Especially if you're not vaccinated, you don't get to do pretty much anything.
Right.
So it almost feels like they're pushing us to get things that we're not ready to get, whether we are pro-vaccination or not. So.
In the military, do they force?
So I won't answer any questions about it.
That's fine. You don't have to tell me specifically about you. In the military, do they force vaccinations on you or is that not a thing yet?
I mean, so they give you the option to have it. They strongly suggest it and stuff. And this is just hearsay. It's not actual facts. So correct me if I'm wrong if you find alternate information. They do have a case where if military members are not vaccinated, they can't go on TDYs, temporary deployments. I'm not sure on the full deployments, which is like 6 months and up and that kind of stuff. I don't know. I really don't talk to many people about that stuff. So I can't give you a good source of information when it comes to that. So.
Yeah, I get it. That's a topic that it's probably good to avoid it with most people. Just let people make their own choices whenever possible, and whatever you want to do is your thing.
Yeah, just keep it loose with that conversation. People are very sensitive and stuff, and I try to be respectful of any decision people make because you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings or any of that stuff because it can be crazy. People have been, taking it a bit overboard, and at the same time, you want to respect the people who want to be at that level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So try to keep your opinions to yourself if it's not reassuring or positive about the situation.
Understood. Hey, are you driving or are you riding?
I am driving.
Okay, Oh, there you go. Both hands on the wheel. Good. Perfect. Hey, I'm not going to keep you much longer. I know you're driving and you're going to the beach, so being on a podcast wasn't exactly part of the plan. I just looked at my list of who's on Facebook, who's who should I call, and I thought I haven't spoken to Meghan in forever. I've been texting a little bit here and there with Chester, but not much. I just felt very out of touch with you guys, and I missed you, and that's why I wanted to talk to you.
It doesn't bother me. I could talk for hours on the phone with my hands on the wheels, so I'm being safe.
How long is your drive? How much longer till you arrive at the beach?
I want to say about an hour and 20 minutes.
Oh my gosh! Wow. I assumed this was going to be like a 10-minute drive to the beach or something, but you're going what beach are you going to?
It's a special beach that the girls like to go to. We went there for my birthday a couple weeks ago, and it's one of their favorites. It's called Okuma Beach. There is a local version of Okuma Beach resort, and then there's a military version of the beach resort. So we're going to the military one, and we're just going to go hang out in the sun and enjoy what the island can offer. So
that's cool. Is there like restaurants and stuff around? Can you do that sort of stuff?
If it's so the military Okuma Beach resort has an on-base restaurant, which we are allowed to go because we're SOFA status. It's really weird how the rules have been panning out. get a little bit off subject here. The rules that have been panning out since military members, if you're not vaccinated, they won't allow you to dine indoors. We're forced to do takeout and sit outside. I mean, I really don't see the relevance because you're still in contact with people in the establishment. So I feel like it's a bit hypocritical what's going on here. So, but there is an establishment on the base where we can get food. There's Combinis, which is basically like a convenience store everywhere on the island, like Family Mart, 7-Eleven, and then we got a Lawson's. And they have like so many things in those stores, and they're just I'm not sure what the word is. They're custom to families, you know, that need like food or like sunscreen, and some stores even have like floaties. It's really random, but there's so many opportunities on this island, and this particular beach that we're going to really is one of our favorites. We went jet skiing, we went tubing. You can go wakeboarding if you wanted. All the water sports are there. There's go-karting, but
Man,
we like it there because it's dredged, so it's less likely to step on gross things.
yeah.
You know, because it's open water.
Man, that sounds like fun. That sounds awesome. So speaking of the girls, you mentioned at the beginning of this that you guys have been getting the KiwiCo boxes, and have the girls been enjoying the stuff they got?
Oh, yeah, they've been not per se fighting over it, but they've been very ecstatic to be like, oh my gosh, let me play with that. No, it's mine. No, it's both of your guys's. You share it, enjoy it. And they've been doing treasure hunts. It's so cute. They got the little treasure box or the little chest, and they marked up their little treasure map for the house, and they've been hiding it everywhere and just going off and just being silly about it. It's so cute.
Oh, that's awesome.
They got a globe version, or where they learn about the continents, and then something about Swedish culture with the little gnome-looking guys, the Tomies or something. I forget what they're called. I'm not sure what the last one was. Oh, the pom-pom thing. Oh, that thing was so cute. It had a crane game where you make your own pom-pom yarn dudes. That's pretty cool.
That's so cool. I would love to see some pictures or videos or whatever you guys got on them. Did they each get the exact same box, or were they different for Malia and Aria?
They're all different. And we've gotten 4 so far, 2 at a time.
Yeah.
You know, for both one girl. And it's such a great gift, Adam. We really appreciate it. And they just play with it nonstop.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. That was supposed to be a Christmas present that I didn't remember or actually make happen until like May or June, and so I'm glad it's actually working out and that they're enjoying it. That makes me so happy to know that.
Yeah. Especially since it's, you know, the long hot summers, and when it gets too hot and when you don't want to go to the beach, you know, you go and sit inside and do projects with the kids. You know, you start to get bored with all the things that you're constantly doing around the house, you know. So
yeah.
It's definitely something new and fun to do with the kids, and it keeps them entertained for hours. That's great.
And are you looking forward to school starting back up? I guess probably a couple weeks till that happens.
Yes. Mama needs a break.
Right. And will both Malia and Aria be in school this year?
You know, I really wish that Malia could go, because I think that educational stimulation would be good for her, because she doesn't. I'm not saying that I'm a bad teacher or anything, and just, you know, sometimes it's not meant for people to do that kind of thing.
Hey, it can't be like for everybody. There's a reason people are teachers. It's because certain people just have that in them, and certain people, hey, there's nothing wrong with saying you're not a teacher, or that it's not your strong suit, right?
No, I mean, you know, it was super easy with one kid, but put 2 different personalities. I'm talking like on opposite sides of the spectrum here. One is super calm and quiet and cool and collective, like Chester, and then the other one's wild and crazy like me, Malia. So, you know, you're just fighting the 2 different styles of education, and it just gets so exhausting. So, but the situation with Malia is there is a zoning rule here in Okinawa. Obviously, same thing in the States, where they have different counties. You're zoned for different schools. Here, they're different cities. We're in Onasan, so we just missed the mark because Yomiton is the town below us, which is between us and Kadena. So we're 2 cities above Kadena, and we were zoned for a base that is further away, surprisingly. And we've been putting in a waiver for Aria to go to Kadena Elementary School, not Bechtel Elementary School, which is on Courtney. And the reason being we wanted to switch the schools is just because it's closer to Chester, and if an emergency happens, all of our friends are on that base. So the thing is with Malia, she can go to school. The thing is she would be in Bechtel because they don't do school waivers for children in pre-kindergarten, pre-K. They call it Sure Start. So if I wanted to, I could put her in, but they would be in 2 separate schools.
And would you have to drive them to the 2 separate schools?
I have been driving them, or Aria, for the last 2 years, every day, there and back. The traffic is insane on this island. It's so small and so dense. There are so many people on this island. It's overpopulated. 40% of the population is military, and the other 60% is locals and tourists. And it's just crazy how much traffic accumulates on this island, and there's so many lights everywhere.
And these zoning rules about which school they can go to, is that a military thing or a Okinawa, Japan local government thing? Like, who's making those rules?
Definitely the base, because they're trying to, section off the kids so they're not overpopulated and crowded. They have exceptions with waivers and stuff, which I have to fill out every year, and we don't know if she got into the school on Kadena yet, so we'll see. All right, but sorry, they just made a brand new road, and I just saw it, and it threw me off guard.
Yeah, safety and driving first, podcast second. Just
yeah. But no, Malia's ready to go whenever she can, but I just don't want to do 2 separate schools. It's a pain in the butt.
Yeah, you mentioned that the 2 separate personalities of Aria and Malia, and that happens a lot with parents and their kids, where you can kind of see one parent more reflected in one kid and the other parent more reflected in the other kid. Nowhere has it been more obvious and extreme than in your 2 kids. Like, you can 100% tell that Aria takes after Chester more and Malia takes after you more. Just personality, temperament. It's striking how similar to each of you individually they both are.
Yeah, they're great kids, and they're a lot. You never know what you're signing up for when you have kids. It's just exhausting.
Well, and they're great kids because they have you and Chester, and you guys are pretty great. So, they're taking on not only the great things about each of you, but all of the things about each of you. So,
exhausting. But it may be positive or negative. It's just, it's a whirlwind being a parent and experiencing all these things, and it's enjoyable, and at the same time you want to rip your hair out, being a mother. And my husband works in the military, and he works long hours, and he's such a sweet guy, and he does so much for our family and sacrifices so much for our country. And raising kids in that kind of environment really humbles you and them, because it's a different experience in life. It's not a general life like in the States, where it's just you go to work, you come back, and you don't get deployed. I mean, there are exceptions, like with work trips and stuff, but you know what I mean? It's not like doing crazy things in the desert, and I can't say what, but it's just so many things happen in the military. You're being thrown around, and the kids are so resilient, constantly changing schools, changing friends, changing environments. It's fun, don't get me wrong, and there's so many positives and negatives about every situation in life, but I really enjoy it, and I wouldn't wish anything else in life but this life. I'm happy with what we have. It's a blessing.
That's so awesome to hear, because when I think of you guys, I think of all of the the things about your life that make it so different from your normal, average, everyday American life, right? I'm in many ways, I'm just very envious and jealous of the traveling you get to do, the things you get to see. And I also, I'm not necessarily so envious and jealous of the headaches that come with that, right? And I mean, I remember how difficult it can be to simply raise a family in normal circumstances, but then to do it with all of that piled on top and being so far away from family and support and all of that stuff. So I get it, man. It's got its pros, it's got its cons, but just seeing you, I'm literally looking at you three. I can see all three of you, Malia barely, seeing you guys drive to the beach with smiles on your faces in a cool place. I mean, it's giving me chills. It's warming my heart. It makes me really happy to see you guys living a pretty cool life in general.
Oh yeah, we try our best to just enjoy life, because you know me, and I can go down in that deep dark rabbit hole, but it's something that you have to grow and learn to just get over things that don't go your way. And Chester is such a big advocate of such good positivity and stuff, and he teaches so many good things about life and how to accept things that you can't change and things that can make it better, and I love that he has brought us in this life. I mean, there are times where you just fall down and break down in tears, because it's so much. And I'm just happy that I have a good husband by my side to raise these crazy kids.
Go Chester, man. I love what you say about him, because that's what, when I think of Chester, I think of pretty easygoing. Like, he had some stressful times as a kid, but he came out of it with one of the most chill and fun personalities that anybody could hope for. I like to think I had at least a little bit to do with that, because he's clearly one of my favorite people in the world. So,
me too.
we have that in common, don't we?
Yes, absolutely. And the love of food and traveling and great people and good times. It's just that man is a prime example of what we need to strive for in life. Just not worry about the things that we can't change. Like I said, just emanates positivity all the time. And even in his hard times, where he's having a bad day, he just, I don't know how he does it, but he just, not necessarily mask it, he just lets it go. And that's an amazing trait in a character. I can't say that enough. And it's just a good prime example for our kids to learn from. And he's an amazing dad. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I couldn't have asked for anything better in life.
So I'm going to totally let you off the hook on thing number one, right? Because the end of this is like, I'm going to ask you for three things, but I'm going to retroactively make what we just said thing number one, which is usually I ask you to tell me something deep, something like an epiphany or something motivational or just something like that. And what you just identified about Chester, I think, is a universal that everybody should try to do, which is to, even when you're having a bad day, to try to shake it off, to look for positives. And if you can do that, oh my gosh, your blood pressure goes down, you're happier, you're healthier, you can be a better husband, be a better dad, and it's a pretty great way to live life.
Yep, and even when it gets real bad, man, I'm telling you, it's all about your mindset. If you can change how your outlook is on life and the things that upset you, it will do a world of wonders for your soul, your heart, whatever it may be. And it's such a good thing to have in life when you have that good rock in your life,
Yeah. All right.
So.
Thing number two, I want to know about a band or a song or something like that you've been listening to lately, like it's been stuck in your head. You can't stop thinking about it. Your favorite song, favorite band. What songs are you enjoying right now?
Man, that's such a hard question to answer, because you know me and I love my music and I listen to an array of music, but to be honest, I've been really stuck in listening to ABBA. They're one of my favorite bands when I was a kid growing up. awesome. I mean, Dancing Queen's one of them. Oh man, I can't even begin to tell you what I've been listening to. I just, that's probably the only thing that's been popping up in my mind right now, but I could go on and on and on hours about music.
So would you say you're on an ABBA kick right now?
I think so.
That's not bad music to be on it's not bad to be on an ABBA kick. That's pretty good stuff. It took me way too long in life to see Mamma Mia.
Oh my gosh, that was such a good movie, dude.
And then you know when I saw Mamma Mia, it was because they made a second one, and I hadn't yet seen the first one. And the second one, I saw the trailer in the movie theaters a bunch of times. I'm like that looks like it's gonna be a fun movie, but I've never seen the first. So Kiki and I sat down and we watched the original Mamma Mia before we went to the movie theater to see the sequel. Which
Nice.
man, I definitely should have seen that way earlier because it's fantastic.
Oh yeah, I'm a huge fan of musicals. Not too crazy musicals, but something that has a good storyline and stuff, and singing and all that jazz.
Yeah.
So that movie was great. I don't think I've seen the second one, but I really liked seeing the whole storyline pan out, and I really love that music growing up. So there's just so many things I can think of that I love.
Well, from what I can tell, people that like the first one like the second one. It's maybe not quite as amazing as the first one, but it's definitely, it's not a clunker. It's a pretty great and fun and funny movie.
Yeah, I love that movie. And I can't wait to, I really don't think I've seen the second one, so that's definitely on my list.
There you go. Put it on the list. All right, thing number 3. Just tell me something stupid, some dumb thought you've had, something hilarious one of the kids said. It can be dirty, it can be funny, it can be clean, it can be whatever. Just tell me something stupid.
Okay, so we were playing this game on the Nintendo Switch. Sorry, I was laughing so hard I couldn't even speak. We were playing the Nintendo Switch, and the game's called Stardew Valley. And the game's really basic but complex at the same time. I believe the term is called 8-bit style of video gaming. You know how the old original
Everything looks kind of squared off and simplified because they didn't have graphics back then, but now it's kind of cool to design new games that look old like that.
So and one of the things that you're supposed to do, it's like an adventurer's game. So you collect resources, you build things, you kill things. Anyway, so on the killing subject, silly, not bad. And we were in the mines, like for ore and stuff.
Yeah.
And then
the ghost, and then it sounds like a fart when you.
So a funny thing that happened, we were in the mines, and I was so scared. It's such a simple game. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. And then Arya goes, wait, what was that noise? Because I killed the ghost, and it sounded like a fart. It was like, whoa, something funny. And we were just busted out laughing. It was so simple, and that's something random that's funny that popped up in my mind.
It was like,
Yeah.
Oh, was that Malia making the sound?
Yes.
Let me hear it again, Malia. Sounds like a squeaky fart.
Yeah, but it was. Oh gosh, if I can replay it for you, I'll record it and send it to you later.
Oh, that'd be cool. That's the perfect thing. 3. I always used to do 3 things, and the third one was always having something to do with boogers or farts or burping or potty humor. Anything just gross like that just cracks me up, and that is perfect.
I know, man. That just one quick story. When I was a kid growing up, at Thanksgiving with my family, I don't know how, but we always got on the subject of talking about pooping or farting or burping. It's just such a good icebreaker in a conversation. You can really find the people that you really want to be around. I mean, you have to be with your family, right? No, I'm just kidding.
Well, yeah.
But it just anything, flatulence. It's just perfect.
That's awesome. I love that Malia's still making the noise.
Oh, yeah. So, very animated person. I swear, she can sing, she can dance. She's got the triple threat, man. It's just crazy. Both of these girls have such unique traits.
Yeah.
To them, and I love.
And Malia is the one that is most like you, and so I think we're in for an exciting future, for sure.
crazy, so he's pretty funny too.
Hey,
I'm excited.
I assume you know this already, but do you guys know that you are in the next before this year is over, you guys are going to have at least 4 new cousins?
Oh my God! Yes, that's right. Dylan and Jamie. Oh my gosh!
And
Who else?
and their cousin John, who is kind of like their brother John.
Oh my God!
I know.
Congratulations.
I'm going to Candy and James's house this coming weekend for a baby shower. Jamie and Toby are having twins. Dylan and his girl are having a baby, and John and his woman are having a baby. So yeah, we got 4 babies coming very soon.
I know that our family is getting so big. It's insane.
Yeah, and I actually have family out in Iowa, and one of my cousins in Iowa is also pregnant and will be having a baby before the year is over. So 5 new grand cousins. I don't know if that's the right term, but yeah, a lot of youngins coming into the world in this family.
I know, they're crazy. I mean, they're just it's raising children is just a life of its own, and you never know what's going to happen, and you think you've got it, but you really don't. It's like, I don't know what the best description of raising children is. It's like something hidden. I don't know. You got to help me out here. It's like, you never know what you're going to get.
Well, yeah, like that Forrest Gump line, life is like a box of chocolates.
I was thinking that.
Life is like a box of chocolates, Mama always said. You never know what you're going to get. There, that's my Forrest Gump. Well, it's so true, though, right? You don't know what you're going to get. You can't order your kids the way you want them to be. And so you kind of just got to deal with what you got. And you got 2 pretty good ones there. So.
Yeah. Yes, baby. I don't know. We don't have anyone to watch Malia, so I'm going to have to say no. It's just us. So you have to have, supervision and stuff because we can't leave our little 4-year-old by themselves while we go out in the ocean.
Right.
That's bad.
I just heard a news story about some people that left their left a small child, I don't know how old they were, in an inner tube in the ocean floating, and it floated away. And like the parents must have been like partying on the beach or something, because it was like an hour or 2 later when somebody found this kid way out in the ocean, like you couldn't see them anymore, kind of thing. It was, yeah, I think those parents are in trouble. So good call on not doing stuff like that.
I'm a smart cookie.
Yeah.
No, I just, when we go to, it's just me, because, it's open water. I usually have Malia in a life vest, and Arya knows how to swim, but I keep him with an arm's reach.
Yeah.
So.
Mommy, are we going to Kuma Beach?
Yes, ma'am.
When we were going to Kuma Beach and I brought my stuffed animals, I was sitting in my car seat and my bottle was hurting.
I heard most of that. Stuffed animals sitting in car seat holding what?
Okay, so she was sitting in the car seat for so long holding her stuffed animals that her butt went numb, and yeah.
Oh, she wanted to do her own thing number 3, and that's a pretty good one. I hate it when my butt goes numb.
So the girls have this saying when they're talking about going to the bathroom, I have to go number 3. And what's that? Where you've got to go pee and poop. So funny.
Number 3 is both at the same time. I love it.
And then number 4 is when you throw up.
And number 5 is when you pee, poop, and throw up at the same time.
That sounds like tequila. I'm just kidding.
Oh, you've had nights like that?
Oh, yes. I got a monkey back here.
Yeah. Well, I can't tell you how happy I am that you had a moment to talk, and that you were able to do it safely while driving, and that you guys look so happy, and I wish you guys a fun day on the beach.
Absolutely. And we miss you, and I hope that you guys can come out soon. We would love to have you. I recommend staying a couple weeks because the jet lag is not fun.
Couple weeks. Yeah, it's going to take some careful planning to get that much time off of work.
I know.
But
Worth it, I promise.
I mean, not that you wouldn't know anything about careful planning for a trip. The stuff you guys had to go through to come here back in December and January was kind of ridiculous. What was it, like a 3-week or something like that? It's like you had to kind of quarantine on mainland Japan before you could go back home to Okinawa when you flew home from America.
Yeah, it was crazy. I can't even, like, that's a whole nother podcast I'm gonna have to answer or Chester, because it was just such a hassle.
Yeah.
Trying to get to and from here and to America and America to here, because we stopped in mainland, and the amount of quarantine, oh my gosh. We're over the 24-hour mark before we were able to go lay down, because we're being, mushed into airport to airport, quarantine to quarantine, test after test. It was crazy. And we were held at mainland for 3 hours to wait for our COVID test after we had a 11-hour flight. And there was no food. We just had like chips and stuff. And not saying that it sucked. It's just, a really long process to get from here to there.
Yeah.
Especially
So I'm not going to complain too hard when I'm going to have to, have a layover and figure out how to get there and all of that. It's not going to be anywhere near what you guys had to do with both of you and the kids all doing that. Hopefully I'll get to come see you guys when it's a little bit easier to manage.
If we do get an opportunity to extend another 4 years, there's more options for you to come here. And I believe they're going to get to the point where vaccinations, not required, but it's just going to eliminate the whole process of roaming or restriction of movement.
Yeah.
Quarantine, whatever you want to call it. So I believe that might ixnay that whole process a lot further. So.
Well, I sure hope so. It seems clear right now that getting vaccinated either keeps you from getting it, or if you do get it, it keeps you from getting really, really sick with it. And so it's and more people getting vaccinated seems to allow us to do more things and have more freedoms and all of that. So I'm all in favor of it, and that's where I stand. And I'll put it out there. I know I'm not asking you to tell me what you personally would do, but that's where I stand. That's the official stance of my personal podcast.
Yeah, and I support people who do or don't want it. So I have I have no animosity towards people who do or don't get it. That is your life. You choose what you choose, and I will love you no matter what. So
yeah, that's awesome. All right, well, let's end it on that. I love you guys. I'm so glad I got to talk to you guys. Have a great day at the beach.
Love you.
Bye, Malia. Bye, Aria. Bye, Megan. Love you.
I love you.
Bye. Love you. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
All right. Meghan Hensley, everybody, from her minivan in Okinawa, Japan, driving to the beach with my 2 granddaughters, Aria and Malia. And I wish you could have seen them. They were just all smiles, having a good time. It looks bright and sunny there. It's right in the middle of the day. For me, it's right in the middle of the night. So I am going to wrap this thing up. Thank you so much for listening to 3 Things with JR. I look forward to doing this each week. I had no idea who I was going to call. And Meghan was at the top of the list. And I just hit the button. She answered, and boom. That was pretty awesome. So thanks again for listening. Here's some music to take you home, and I'll see you next week with Who Knows Who. Bye.
It's a brand new day.